Bang! Neeves Knives, I'm Jared, and we have a bunch of new Kizers, one of which I think could possibly be the best knife from them this year. I'm actually pretty confident in that. We'll check it out here in a second. This is a new model as well, which is also pretty cool, the Exist. This reminds me a lot of like the Drop Bear, just, you know, somewhat of a drop foot version, you know, or, you know, a little bit of a hybrid of a Warncliffe. It is very sharp, came with a really good edge. Nitro V steel. We have this textured micarta scale that has like a tire track over the top of it, which is pretty cool. Steel liners on the inside, and we have a deep carry clip that is reversible, TA hardware all the way around, and it's using their clutch lock, which allows you to adjust it, which we'll check out. Actually, you know what, since you guys already know about this one, this is a Christmas edition of the Drop Bear. Lately, I've been carrying this one, which is a slimmer version with inset liners instead of shadow box liners with a thinner blade. I actually prefer it even over the regular one. But if you look, you can see through the Christmas version that you can see the clutch lock right there. See how the Omega springs right there, and it's in the second hole, so that means it could still be changed to stronger. And there's extra Omega springs inside the box that should be thicker, so you can increase it even more than that, which is really cool because this already has like a perfect detent for a crossbar lock. Most people would be very satisfied with it just like this, but you know me, I personally like a nice strong detent, so you know, I would be the type of person that would change it, but it doesn't need to be. And I've yet to have changed my other one, which is on the same setting, but just because it is that awesome. But that is, oh yeah, by the way, this one comes in, I think still Nitro V, I believe. Where's the thing at here? No, this one's 154 CM, sorry, 154 CM. We got the snowflakes on there and the gold hardware. I might just take some of this gold accents and change it over to a different one that I have to just modify it. That'd be kind of cool. This one, flat ground blade, nice and ergonomic. I like the taper of it. This one has a good detent as well. Is it on, I can't tell which setting it's on, but I could use this one just a little bit stronger, so this is one I'd probably increase it on just a little bit. But all in all, really cool little knife, and this is like a perfect size for most people. And you know, considering you get nice and tight to that edge, plunge grind is decent. I mean, it could be better, but you do have a couple sharpenings in there. Other than that, you know, I mean, this thing is pretty damn cool. Hidden lanyard back here. I don't know if we needed that, but we got it. Next is another new model, the Shot, the Kizer Shot. And you can see it's got this brushed aluminum handle that's very, very smooth, very soft. You can barely feel the brushed, you know, finish on there. It just almost feels like a polished finish. 154 CM drop point blade. You can see it's been being used. Kara's been carrying it for a couple days, using the hell out of it. It does have liner lock action with steel liners that are proud, so they're not shadow box, but they are, you know, even with the scales. Deep carry clip, not reversible, but it does have T8 body screws. Good access to the lock bar, which is really awesome because this being such a little slim knife, you know, you want to make sure you have good access. You have a great front flipper, so you have a well jimped front flipper, very easy to operate. Like I always say, that when you get knives that are slim like this, they tend to be much easier to do the front flip for people because you just have a lot more leverage. You know, the wider you have to spread out to get to the front flipper, typically the least amount of leverage you get. So this one's very snappy. And then the thumb studs are easy to get to. These are great thumb studs. You know, this knockdown portion right here from the scale, and then you got this chamfer right there, which allows you to go right to the studs, both on the thumb or the reverse flick. Love to see that. It is a small knife, so this isn't going to be ergonomic or anything, but you know, it's a pinch grip knife, you know, basically like a glorified letter opener or something, light duty EDC that you can use to, you know, make some utility cuts, open packages, and you know, whatnot. Now, I personally think it looks like I almost want to call it like the anchovy or something like that. So it kind of reminds me of. But flat ground blade. Like I said, 154 cm, great steel, and you know, Kizer does a good job with it. And yeah, all in all, this is really, really cool. Like I said, it's just, you know, it is very slim back here, but I can't really, you know, I can't really beat it up for not being ergonomic. It's not that type of knife. So the only thing I'll really complain about is sharpen control and plunge grind could be better. I wish I had more sharpenings in there, especially with a black blade. Look at how smooth this thing is though. Very, very smooth. You can tell it's riding on bearings. But yeah, pretty damn cool. Let's get to the next one. Before we get to the rest of the folders, here is the new hair. And this one is in Nitro V steel with micarta scales, orange G10 liners. Very, very ergonomic, this one. This one is super comfortable. You have jimping for the thumb and for the pointer. You have jimping back here for, you know, the reverse grip, or maybe, you know, like whatever, you know, you might be back there for. It has a flat ground blade, clip point, flat clip point blade, but it is a big belly clip point. So this is going to be great for skinning and things like that. You can kind of tell, I did try to use it for, you know, not for all day or anything, but, you know, I was breaking down some boxes. It's not the sliciest. It is more of a chunker. So this, I think, would be better served for tougher use, more so than, you know, like being a performance cutter. That being said, it cuts just fine. You're going to have no problem using it, you know, for whatever. But I feel like that it shines in a place where somebody wants a nice, strong, durable tip, a thicker spine, you know, something that you could be a little bit tougher on. Yet, if you need to do some, you know, some light duty cuts, you can. Micarta's really good quality. Kizer always does a good job with that. I like that they did the screw so you could take it off and oil it and clean it. Kydex sheath. Nice snap, no rattle, no tap. It does have the tech lock, which I love to see. That means you can position it any way you want. Very easy to put on and take off. Nice push off point. Love the snap. So yeah, all in all, pretty damn cool. The sharpen control and plunge grind, you know, you're going to get a couple sharpenings out of it, but considering it is a little bit more on the thicker side, you know, you're going to, if you lay back the angle, you're going to start getting close to that, but you'll get a couple sharpenings. And being a fixed blade, you could probably notch it out yourself. I don't see anything bothering it right here with the, at least I don't think so, with the sheath. So if you wanted to just notch that out a little bit bigger, it is an Azo design. And yeah, all in all, man, really, really cool. Like I said, this is something cool for like a hunter, I think, a hunter, fisherman, outdoorsman. Next is one that already exists, but this is a more budget-friendly version. I'm surprised they actually did this because they have a Nitro V version, which I absolutely love. This is a D2 version, the mini grouper. This is one of my favorite Kizers right now, especially as far as under the $100 mark, because it has basically a button compression lock. So you see how you got the stop in there and stop in there? This liner drops in between the tang of the blade and the stop in, just like Spyderco's compression lock. Think of the SMOKY, right? They put a button on that one. But it allows you to basically have button lock action with a great detent. So like instead of getting a softer detent, which you get from most, or not most, but a lot of button locks, you get a very consistent braking detent, like a liner lock. And then it also is very strong, much stronger than most conventional button locks. Nice sharpen control and plunge grind. They did a good job on that one. It is a drop point blade or a leaf shaped blade. And then the liners are inset, which is really nice, so you can't see them. G10 is very grippy. It is nice and comfortable. I love that it is very similar, if not, you know, you call it a shilling cutter, which shilling cutters, this style or shape of knife is just phenomenal for EDC. Like it really, really works out great for the end user because it's aiming, the tip is aiming at everything you're going to cut. It's just a blade shape that winds up being pretty much really good at everything. So this one I've talked about a lot because I love it. Then We have a new Milito. Another new Milito. Yes, we got tons of Militos coming out in 2024. This one has the Mars fat carbon fiber, which is beautiful. I'm surprised they didn't do a DLC black blade on this, considering, you know, I guess they did that with the purple one already. Or did they do that one with the red one too? I have the purple one. But anyways, regardless, I love the Milito. This is a very, very smooth action knife. And it has one of the most comfortable disengagements of a lock bar that you could get, especially the full-size one. Holder point lands exactly where you want it, whether it's the thumb or the reverse flick. Now, this one is M390 steel with a hand satin finish going, you know, this direction. Man, look at how smooth that is. It has a titanium mill pocket clip, titanium frame lock, and then the fat carbon fiber. Very, very comfortable. This is definitely one that's been very popular for Kizer this year, and there's a reason why. I mean, the front flipper just works great. They tune the detent to perfection, and, you know, for knife guys, like, this is, you know, just an exceptional knife. And the neutral ergos make it very comfortable to use. So it's not only, you know, great in materials, fidget factor, and so on, it's also a great little user. Sharp and plunge grind is where I wish they would just notch this out bigger. They have an internal stop pin, so there's plenty of room to just throw a bigger notch right there so that you have plenty of room to sharpen without fear of hitting the plunge grind. But all in all, man, I love the Milito. You guys know that. Now, the star of the show. Let's get to the star of the show. This one is, in my opinion, the best one. This could possibly be the best knife of the year. I mean, at least for me, it's one of my favorite knives of the year from Kizer, and it is the Hawk. Woo! This thing is awesome. This thing is badass, and it is so good action-wise. Let's go through it. So we have an S45 VN blade. I hope Kizer's doing a good job with their S45. Maybe we should test it because, you know, that's always a good thing to know. You know, it's not whether or not what steel they're using. It's whether or not they're doing a good heat treatment on that steel. Then we have a titanium, not frame lock, a titanium liner lock with a copper pivot collar and a copper backspacer. Love to see that because I love the accent of copper, and, you know, I like it both copper and black. That's probably my favorite, but I love even the titanium or, you know, stonewash satin finish next to copper. Titanium mill pocket clip that actually works really well. The ramps over here, the ramp could be a little bit higher, but so far, everything I've put it in, it's worked just fine. It actually is really good. Very smooth in and out of the pocket. This one is a steel liner lock, though. You see a nice big detent in there. The reason why the detent is so amazing is because not just because it's big, it's a flat detent. So a flat detent can make the break on the detent much crispier. Listen. Unlike a round detent, which still has a nice break, it can roll over the edge of the hole that's on the blade. Instead, in this case, it kind of clicks out and clicks in, which leads to an amazing action. The flipper tab, very comfortable, like super comfortable. Love this flipper tab. My favorite shape probably for a flipper tab, or one of my favorite shapes. Then the hole lands in such a great spot. Like, you just naturally pick it up, your finger just lands right there. Thumb flick, also really good. You don't really hit this corner too bad, and if you do, it's so subtle you don't even notice it. So you can get a nice thwack with your reverse, or sorry, with your thumb flick. But the reverse flick, man, so good. Just listen to it. It has a nice sound. And then when you disengage it, the flipper tab will hit your thumb if you lift really high, but you can just lift a little bit lower and you're past the detent. So it's very easy to get past the detent. Also with this flipper tab, you can do a light switch or a push button comfortably. Both are the same, like as good as the other one. Micro milling all over the titanium handle, which does add to a tactile feel. Nice, a nice texturing. This side has this frag pattern over on this side and not on this side. I don't really mind that. It definitely adds to a little bit more traction in the hand. The designer, not sure about the designer. I don't know if I know this designer. Maybe I do. I hate to say that, and then I know him really well. But man, look at this. And left-handed is really good. They missed an opportunity here with the reversible clip, because this one would be really good for lefties. I mean, it is. And like I said, you know, it's so good with the action, and because it's a liner lock, you don't have to worry about locking yourself out. The only thing is that the clip, yeah, they could have done it, but it probably would have landed on one of these, so it wouldn't have worked in that case. At least not as good as the opposite side. Ergonomics, super good. And this has a, not just like a shilling cutter, but it has a little bit of the same idea that's going to benefit you. This one has a straight back right here, so your palm goes right over, so pinch grips, opening things up. You know, you have a ton of control with that blade. You can easily turn it around. The flipper tab doesn't barely get in your way, but going this direction, you see how it like cants downward? So when you're like this, it actually traps the material. So you can kind of cut from the tip to the heel, or heel to tip, because it'll basically keep the material in a specific section. The geometry is decent. Like, it's not super thin, not super slicey, but it's also not thick. It's probably just right for most people, where it's going to be very slicey, yet tough enough to hold, you know, to hang on to some a little bit tougher use. TA hardware all the way around. Love to see that. There's only a liner on the lock bar side, so it is, you know, you could say it's a subliner lock. Ooh, that detent, man. I love it. I freaking dig this thing a lot. Like, this thing's dope. I love the look. I love the action. I love the use. I love the style. And I did already cut with it, you know, just to test it out a little bit. I should have cleaned these. Sharp control plunge grind, it's okay. You know, I could always use better, because they ended the plunge grind fairly close to the edge. They should have just made it just a little tiny bit bigger. There's nothing in the way, so, you know, just a little bit bigger. Start the edge right here. That would have gave you like 5, 10 more sharpenings before you'd even get close to the plunge grind. So yeah, but all in all, it's fine, you know, and then the clip works good. So I have zero complaints about this one, really. You know, just maybe a little nitpick on the choil could be a little bit bigger, but man, it's a good one. This is a great one, guys. So there you guys go. Work hard, stay tough. Until next time, peace.